All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Going to be touching on my favorite prop bets here in the NBA. We have 4 prop bets that I'm going to call out, showing you guys it on Underdog and PrizePicks. We have one really good PrizePicks prop bet as it sits right now, so I'll be giving you guys those bets. But first, I want to get into a quick recap from yesterday. All right, guys, so we've been on a pretty nice hot streak with the NBA picks, going over 50% for like 5 days straight. I'd have to double check, but yesterday was another good day, 5 for 8 on the day. And if we look at the prop bets that missed, Trey Murphy, Kevin Durant, and CJ McCollum there, all 3 of them were like the exact bets that I'm perfectly fine missing, in the sense that we knew Trey Murphy was a little bit undervalued, given the game constraints. Supposed to be a high scoring game. We knew he was going to get a lot of shot attempts up, and it was just a good spot for him. Same thing with CJ McCollum, and they were we nailed that. They just had poor night shooting. That's really all it comes down to. And in NBA, I'm perfectly happy to miss. I shouldn't say perfectly happy, but it's like, that's fine. We know that's going to happen. Same thing with Kevin Durant. Like, the thought process there, really big edge there as well, was that Bradley Beal was going to sit in that game. And because he was going to sit, his line was going to be a little bit too low. We saw Kevin Durant's point prop go up by 2. Same thing with Devin Booker. And then CJ McCollum, his went up to 22.5 as well. So very good edges there. Now, part of the reason as to why we've been able to have some good edges is because I've been able to do the preview video, early on in the slate, really when the props are released, which creates some nice edges. I did not do that today, obviously, and because I came out with the NFL video. So apologies for that, guys, but we are getting a few good prop bets here still. I do want to call it the first one here. This is the only good prop bet that we currently have on PrizePicks. That's going to be Agbaji to get under his fantasy score of 22.5. Okay, we scroll down. We can kind of see why. Projected to get 29.92 minutes in this game. He's projected to get 21, which is nice. The DVP projection, which adjusts for his projected minutes, and then just takes into account how much the Chicago Bulls give up. He is slightly favored for the over there. And then Vegas projection, that's just taking the average minutes divided by the Vegas lines and times by the projected minutes, just to see if they're off by a little bit there maybe. That's lower. Now, if you look at his per 36 production with Scotty Barnes, Grady Dick's active, Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickly, and Bruce Brown off the court, it is right around there as well. So, I wouldn't say it's like a 55% likelihood like Vegas is telling us, but I would still say it's probably the best bet that we have on the board. I'm perfectly fine with that. Again, guys, I want to call out the fantasy score prop bets, and the cheat sheet has been doing pretty darn well lately. So hopefully you guys have been able to take advantage of that. Don't be surprised, though, if there's a little bit of a cold streak. That just naturally happens because they have been hitting a little bit more than their expected rate over the past 3 days or so. So, just maybe pump the brakes a little bit. Don't have to go crazy with that, especially for a bet that I think is only solid. It's not like a lock and load bet. Now, I do want to call it another prop bet here as well. This is on Pick 6. It's basically a free square. We got Yabusele to get over 7.5 points. This is a bet that I called out on the 95 Discord chat about an hour ago. It's probably going to get bumped on Pick 6, but I wanted to call it out to you guys as well. If you guys are curious about the 95 Discord chat, that is for members only, but you guys get access to it once you sign up for the 95 membership. So I know a lot of people ask about it when I call it out. I keep it like that way. I don't like to have it to the public because once you get more people in there, there's just too much fluff associated with it. I'm sure you guys know that. There's a bunch of Discords out there that, because there's so many people in there talking and just whatnot, it doesn't help anyone. And so I like to keep it concise with people that are just really trying to help each other out. But let's go ahead and get into this Yabusele prop bet here. So we see his points line is set at 10 on PrizePicks. I actually don't mind that over there. I think that's pretty solid. I don't mind his over points and rebounds at 15 as well. We see the average sportsbook line has this at 15.5. I would argue that's kind of correct. You can actually get this bet on Underdog at 14.5 points and rebounds as well. And so part of the reason as to why I like this bet is due to who is in and out in this game. Okay, so Jared McCain is going to be out in this game, and then also Joel Embiid is going to be out in this game as well. We know in games with Joel Embiid out, Guerschon Yabusele has gotten a lot of minutes for us, and because of that, because the minutes have been there for him, he has been able to get these overs. And so I'll just pull up his game log here for you guys to see 14 and 14 minutes, so just directly gone, okay? And then 33, 37, 33, the minutes were up for him in those games without Embiid. So we're betting on those minutes to be there again for him. And if we take a peek at the minutes projection, maybe not exactly 30 minutes, but he's projected to get 28 minutes. And so let's just look at the per 36 production with Embiid and McCain off the court. He sees his PRA line at 20.9 points per 36 and 9.3 rebounds. Now, we know he's not going to get 36 minutes. Most likely he could. I still think that's on the table. But if you adjust it for his projected minutes of 28, it's about 23 points and rebounds, okay? And so to me, guys, that line is a very, very solid bet for us across the board. DVP projection-wise as well tells us that he should be able to get the over. Again, the DVP projection is adjusting for the matchup with Charlotte. And so that's a very solid bet for us. And then let's go ahead and get into another bet that I like a decent amount here as well. And that's going to be Tyrese Maxey to get over 26.5 points or 25.5 points. Either way, it's a good bet. This is a bet that I'm just going to have pulled up here on the PrizePicks board, but I like the bet much better on Underdog at 25.5 because it's much more in line with what should be happening here, guys. So he is someone that with Embiid and McCain off the court, he averages almost 30 points per 36, 29.9. And again, he's someone that might actually get more minutes than the 36 minutes that he's projected to get. So he's projected to get 37 minutes. And so I actually wouldn't mind the over at 26.5 on PrizePicks, but there's no point in betting that when the line is currently 25 on Underdog. We should be betting that there as well. And he gets a slight bump in his usage as well with McCain off the court and Embiid off the court there as well. So very solid bets there in that game. I couldn't find a bet that I really liked to run it back with Charlotte with LaMelo Ball, currently questionable. If he were to sit, we could go back to Miocic, who's been a 3 for 3 with, maybe 4 for 4, but 3 for 3 with him. I don't think we need to go there, though, in this game. And we have one other bet kind of in the early games that I want to call it, and then we'll have another bet as well that I want to call it a little bit later. We're looking at Jaden Ivy, guys. So Jaden Ivy, we're not getting that many bets for just yet. Oh, now we are, a little bit more. I really don't mind any of the lines that we're getting here for Jaden Ivy, whether it's his over points, fantasy score, rebounds, and assists. They're all pretty solid. But I do like his points line probably the most. Now, the issue that we're going to have with Jaden Ivy is his minutes have been kind of low. But for Detroit, they're going to be without Tobias Harris tonight. Tobias Harris is a pretty high usage rate player. Ivy actually gets a 6.3% bump in his usage with Harris off the court. And so we look at the 16.5 points, guys. I actually really like the over. A lot of people are going to see this and say no, like this is actually a popular bet right now on PrizePicks. And I'm assuming it's because of that game log. That's where that can be a trap, guys. Like because people are probably just blindly betting on these unders simply because he's gotten the under 5 straight times, right? But it's not adjusting for Harris being off the court. He has a 31% usage rate with Tobias Harris off the court. He averages 23 points per 36 with Harris off the court. And again, he's not going to get 36 minutes. But if we just adjust that down for his 29 projected minutes that he is projected to get, 18.5 points then. And so that's still too low. And he could be a candidate to get a little bit more run there as well. Now, I don't mind his over assists as well, or his over points and assists as well, guys. He is someone that averages about 3.1 assists when you adjust it for his minutes. And then his fantasy points as well, 40 fantasy points per 36 with Harris off the court. And again, you adjust that down for his projected minutes, that's closer to 32 fantasy points per 36. So I actually probably like his fantasy score over the most here, but they're all pretty solid. Now, I do think it's worth calling out that earlier on in the season, he was getting a lot more run, and we have seen him place Miami twice now, 32 minutes in that game, 18 points, so very solid there. And then he also played them 41 minutes in that game, 19 points as well. And I think the thing I want to call it here, close game in this game, 2 points difference. Then this game, less than 10 points as well. So they have at least been able to keep it close. And so that's part of the reason as to why his minutes have been a little bit spread out as well, is they're just in a lot of blowouts. So if we can get closer to maybe 29 plus minutes, that's huge. But I do like that edge that we are currently getting there. And so one of my favorite prop bets, actually more of a traditional sportsbook bet, is going to be DeMar DeRozan to get over 20. And DeMar DeRozan sees a massive bump in his production with him off the court, about 9 more points per 36 with him off the court to about 26 points per 36 with him off the court. And the thing with DeMar DeRozan is he's probably going to get close to 36 minutes. Like his minutes won't change with him off the court, but his production seemingly has improved with him off the court. Against Denver as well, we look at the DVP projection, project to get 2.2 or 22.6, sorry. Vegas projection likes the over, average projection likes the over. All the data points are telling us that this is a pretty strong bet. Now, because, Vegas is maybe not liking this bet, it's probably not one that we need to go on as much on PrizePicks or Underdog, but it is a good traditional sportsbook bet. So I want to call that one out to you guys there as well. I'm going to go ahead and refresh the data just to make sure we're not getting any bets that I'm missing on that are good bets that I want to give to you guys. And then I'll go ahead and get into the bet slips. And actually, guys, not too many great prop bets popping up just yet. I am interested to see and maybe some prop line differences between PrizePicks and Underdog fantasy score wise later on in the day. We're currently not getting the fantasy score lines for Underdog. Typically come out like 3 hours before lineup lock or game lock, I should say. So nothing too crazy just yet there. So with that, guys, let's go ahead and get into the 9 to 5 bet of the day here. But first, remind you guys of the promo code going on the website. Use the promo code KEEPCASH and you get 20% off your first 9 to 5 month membership. Take advantage of that there, guys. But now getting into the bet of the day. All right, so getting into my favorite bets here in the day in the NBA, we got Jaden Ivy to get over 20.5 points and assists, DeMar DeRozan over 21.5 points, Guerschon to get over 14.5 points and rebounds, and then I also like Maxey to get over 25 points. If you guys need the reasons as to why I like those, watch the video. Let's go ahead and jump now into the PrizePicks bet. And then looking at PrizePicks, guys, again, going with that one good bet that we currently have, Agbaji to get under 22.5 fantasy points. And then looking at Jaden Ivy, I like him. You know, he could have a cold night shooting and potentially missing. You know, I would argue it's not the best matchup against Miami, even though he's been pretty successful against Miami thus far this year. If there's another bet that pops up that I really like, that's better than Ivy, I'll do that bet instead. But that's going to be all for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Good luck with all your bets today. And as always, let's keep cashing. Give a like, give a subscribe. Head on over to 9to5sports.com and get access to those cheat sheets, guys. Make better, educated bets. That's what the cheat sheets are designed to do, whether it be just pointing out the best bets via EV or just giving you guys the resources to make better bets. All right, thanks for watching. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.